Peace to all human families of the planet Earth. Peace to the 5% nation. This is episode 53. The title is Learning to Set Boundaries Without Feeling Guilty. Right? Let me repeat that title again. Learning to Set Boundaries Without Feeling Guilty. Right? This episode is about self-respect, right? Emotional discipline and protecting your energy, right? Boundaries are not punishment. They are instructions on how to treat you, right? Those are what boundaries are. Instructions on how people should treat you, right? Guilt comes from conditioning, right? Boundaries come from self-knowledge. Well, peace to all, right? A lot of us was taught that saying no is rude, right? That protecting yourself is selfish. That if you don't always show up, you're wrong. But let me say this clearly, right? If you don't set boundaries, people will set them for you, right? And you won't like them. That's a fact. You won't like it when people start to set the boundaries for you. You're not going to like it, right? So, let's build about that, right? Why boundaries feel so hard, right? Boundaries feel hard because we were raised to please others. We were taught to avoid conflict. We confuse sacrifice with love or love with sacrifice. Either or, right? Guilt shows up when you start choosing yourself, stop explaining your decisions, refuse emotional manipulation. But guilt is not a sign that you're wrong, right? It's a sign you are breaking old programming, right? That's what it's about there, but you got to break old patterns, break old programming, destroy that, and start building something new for you, right? Boundaries reveal who respects you. We say it again. Boundaries reveal who respects you, right? Watch what happens when you set a boundary, right? Watch what happens when you set a boundary, right? Some people will respect it, adjust, support you. Others will get offended, call you selfish, try to cross it because they don't like the change that's coming. So they'll try to cross it. They'll try to disrupt it, try to bring down your peace, chop down your boundaries because they cannot accept the change within yourself, right? That reaction tells you everything, right? Be honest, that reaction tells you everything, right? People who benefit from your lack of boundaries will always resist your growth, right? Let me say it again. People who benefit from your lack of boundaries will always resist your growth, right? Boundaries are not walls either. Boundaries are not walls. Even though it tells us that the Indian Ocean was bordered by the South, it's not really a boundary. It's not a wall, brother. It's just you dividing yourself from certain things, right? You gotta divide yourself from certain things that disrupt your peace. It's not saying we put up a wall like we try to block out Mexico and none of that stuff. Try to tell people they can't get in. It's not saying to push yourself away from people. It's just setting boundaries of who you are as a person. You're not putting up a wall. This ain't self-defense. You're not trying to keep the monsters out and all that. You know what I mean? Boundaries are not about shutting people out, like I said. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They are about defining safe access, right? You can love someone and still say, not today. That doesn't work for me. I'm not available for that, right? A boundary says, I value myself enough to protect my peace. Like I said, it's just about protecting yourself, your peace, your state of mind. That's it. And people have to respect that. If not, they can keep it moving. Like you said, keep it moving, keep it trucking. You know what I mean? Freedom comes from self-respect, right? When you self-respect yourself, you're free in the mind. Nobody can check you or put you somewhere, say this about you. You're free in the mind because you have the self-respect for yourself, the knowledge of yourself and the caring of yourself and the love for yourself, right? When you set boundaries, stress decreases, right? Stress decreases when you set boundaries. Relationships become clearer. Self-trust increases. All this happens when you start to value yourself and have self-respect for yourself. All these things happen. You stop leaking energy. You stop explaining yourself. You start living on your terms, right? You start living on your terms. That's not selfish. That's freedom. Remember, that is not selfish. That's freedom. Now, for today's affirmations, right? Every episode, you know, I give you affirmations to say, to recite to yourself, to live in your daily life. And like I always say, this is not praying to a mystery God. We're not praying to something mysterious. These are affirmations for yourself, to build up self, to be grateful in life, right? We say, as above, so below. We speak the word, and so shall it be. That's all that is. Words becoming bonded to life. And your word is bond, and bond is life. And your words are bonded. Your words hold power. So use your power, brothers. Use your power, sisters. Right? So let's continue with the affirmations. I want you to speak this with power. First affirmation. I honor my needs without apology. First affirmation. I honor my needs without apology, right? Second affirmation. My peace is not negotiable. Number 2. My peace is not negotiable. That's the second affirmation. The last affirmation for today is boundaries strengthen my relationship. Last but not least, boundaries strengthen my relationships, right? Now, as I close out the build, keep it moving, add it on, and we take this to the end of the build, close out the build. You know what I'm saying? I want to say this. You don't owe anyone access to your time. You don't owe anyone access to your time, your body, or your mind, right? You owe yourself truth, peace, and balance, right? Set the boundary, stand on it. Let me say it again. Set the boundary, stand on it. And don't explain it to people who benefit from you having none. With that being said, I'm your host, Master Brown Sheep. I would like you to hit that like button, subscribe, share. Hit that like button, though. Hit that like button. Press that subscribe button. I need some subscriptions. I need people to come and enter the cipher with me. And as always, it's your host, Master Brown Sheep. And always remember to build the cipher. Peace.